cool would it be to take a friend to UFC 300? You guys get to hang out with Jocko and then go hang out with Bo Nickel at his post-fight party. Because Jocko Fuel is giving you a chance to do just that. 2 tickets, airfare, and accommodations paid for. Plus, you'll get a VIP escort from Jocko Fuel to show you around Vegas. All you have to do to enter is go to JockoFuel.com, make a purchase, or just click on the link below. Conor McGregor versus Michael Chandler. I don't want you guys to accuse me of being a broken record. This is the topic, right? I mean, it's like music and there's only so many notes. These guys are playing the same notes over and over. It does force a guy like me that likes the story, wants to see the match, and is covering it for you guys to be a bit redundant. But when Conor McGregor comes out and he announces a fight, the one thing that cannot happen because of learning in the past, right? The one group of people that cannot reach out to that red hot stove and touch it, wondering if it's hot, cold, or is just painted that color, is us. Because we've put our hand out on that stove and we've been burned many times before. So perhaps a new guy comes along, perhaps a baby was born in the meanwhile. Like, that story is gonna keep on burning people, it just can't be us. So when Conor comes out and is the one that says, this summer, Michael Chandler, yeah, all systems a go, I'm gonna bust him up, and doesn't know the date, doesn't know where you can get tickets, doesn't know what the nearest hotel is for all the fans that he brings. I mean, they load up jumbo 747 jets and they fly them over in the droves for Conor. That's how over he is, but he doesn't have any of that information. When he gets asked one of the most basic questions, which is just, what weight class are we doing this at? He does not have the answer. Now, for a lot of guys, you could be missing details, but still have your ultimate premise there, which is, I have a fight with this person roughly this time. So it's not completely unheard of. It's not like within our sport, you have to have all this info. But the part that I'm studying and paying attention to is that Michael Chandler then comes out and co-signs it every time. The media, per rules of media, like if you took a college course, if you read a book, if you had an editor that you had to answer to, if you came out with a statement and your source of this statement of what is Conor going to be doing, who's he going to be doing it with, and roughly when will that be? If your source for that is Conor himself, you are allowed under journalistic rules of integrity to run with that and to print it and state it like it's fact. But somewhere along the way, guys got burned so many times, and it was one time too many, that they started bringing in Michael Chandler before they would run it as fact. So now we've got a statement by Conor, and we get it co-signed by Michael Chandler. Now we can go to the presses and put it in the headlines. But Chandler has been wrong each time he has co-signed Conor. And I will just share for you, I've always thought that Chandler was getting duped. It always made me feel bad. It made me think it was starting and stopping, up and down. Made me believe that Chandler, after hearing McGregor say it first, was then telling the media, yes, this is a go. I know it's a go because Conor, most powerful guy who knows everything, I heard him say it was a go. But all of a sudden now it's misunderstood. Now it looks as though you got it from 2 sources as opposed to both sources got it from the same place, which was McGregor. Are you following me? Because I'm just wondering as a fan, how many times this can happen before we reach fatigue? How many times until we're fatigued? I tell you what, guys, I wouldn't be making this peeps right now. I already reached my fatigue. Because I'm now observing this fight announcement, because now I'm observing this from a completely different standpoint, which is, can they still captivate headlines? They told the story that we're going to fight each other in summer in Las Vegas. 5 rounds at 185 pounds. Ha, ha, ha. Everybody laughs after 185, but each time you ask them, they always say 185, so ha, ha, ha. How many times can they do that before we don't care? And I'm about to the point where I believe we don't care. And my evidence for that is when I saw this story, and I scan the dirt sheets all day. Every time I grab my phone, I'm refreshing. Text from my wife, see what she says. Write her back. Heart emojis. See you at dinner time. Go to the dirt sheets. scan the dirt sheets before I put my phone down. Just for example, I'm there all day. And when I went to the dirt sheet of Bloody Elbow, and when I saw the news that it was Conor versus Chandler sometime this summer, it was 3 down from the top. That is stunning. If it was 3 down from the top, as many times as I scroll and refresh that page, it's making me believe it never was at the top. It was either at the top and knocked down in record time, or it never even made it to the top. And Michael Chandler, Conor McGregor fight announcement, never up until that point had been anything but front page, top of the line news. And it's very interesting. And Chandler keeps going right along with it. And I don't know why. Perhaps I'm wrong, and perhaps, right, you finally, Brer Rabbit, right, the boy that cried wolf, eventually there was a wolf. So maybe Chandler is getting information, he's confident in it, maybe he isn't just piggybacking off of Conor. But it's where the whole thing started from in the first place, right? Michael Chandler never wanted Conor McGregor because there was something personal. Michael Chandler never wanted Conor McGregor because it was a way back to a title, or he had a title in the first place. Michael Chandler wanted to associate himself with the most famous guy and the most eyeballs in the sport. Wanted to go out there and beat him in competition and take as many of those headlines and as many of those eyeballs, get him on his bandwagon as he could. Everything sounds right here. There's nothing there that you would disagree with, but the other side of the coin is when you hitch yourself to a wagon, even if that wagon keeps going up the hill, if it keeps being good things, if it breaks an axle and starts going down and you're still hitched to it, you're going down with it. I don't know how long they could dangle such a topic. But I can't call and ask them because their story together, they've like partnered up on this thing, is that they've already got a deal done through agents, of which don't exist, for some time this summer, which does exist, has 2 shows, one of which hasn't been announced, and neither looks like it wants it as a main event. I mean, not for nothing, right? Like, this is starting to be a very difficult thing to know. And there hasn't been a fight, a big mega fight, in the history of the organization where the organization doesn't let us know. Or even if the cat got out of the bag, the organization would then confirm and let you know, as annoyed as they might be. When the cat gets out of the bag, the organization, up until this point, has never denied something and then just waited till the right time, then gone, and looky here, we do have it. And after they said they didn't have it, it's not done that way. It simply isn't done that way. I do believe Conor is sincere. I do believe that he wants to fight. I do believe at one point in time he was offered a placement on the card that was not main event, and that brought him pause. I brought that up to you guys and on other channels, and now Conor has addressed that a week ago. He didn't say I heard Chael say, but he brought that up specifically and said, I don't care if I'm the first fight of the night. It's a comeback fight for me. I'd like to dip my toe in it. I'd like to go 3 rounds. Now, Conor will never get 3 rounds, but I love that he even said that because that's what a true competitor would say. That's what hungry Conor, poor Conor, unfamous Conor, that's what he would have said. And there is a massive question, which is he still that guy? You'll hear Dana talk about and do interviews with McGregor, and he'll just talk about the financial success that Conor has had and continues to enjoy. And he'll use that as a question, a broad question to the audience at large, and just say, if you didn't have to, if the money you were going to earn did not impact your life anyway because you have so much other money, is this something that you would do? And nobody ever says, yes, I would. I remember every single time that Dana said it because yes, I would. It would not impact it. I wanted to compete. I wanted somebody to compete against. I love the eyeballs and the attention. All of that was true too, but it was about competition first. And the money or the fame, those were byproducts. I don't say that to slip myself in there and to let you know where I stand on it. I don't mean to be on the more noble side. I just can't use the golden rule of put myself in their shoes and imagine what I would do. Because it appears that I'm very different than what they would like to do. But I think Conor's very sincere. And I don't think he's holding out behind the scenes for money. I think there's something that is throwing this match off. Fine. But at the same time as we can't clear Conor McGregor and say it's not him, he's clean. It's the same time that we can't point to Michael Chandler and say anything he's done wrong because he hasn't. He has done everything right. He's clean. We also can't point to the organization and say they have done absolutely everything. Their hands are clean. We can't do that because this is a very rare situation where of the three people involved, the organization, Chandler, and Conor, those three are not saying the same thing. Like whatever is really going on, if it's on Conor's side and the organization is just keeping him out of it, or if it's the organization itself, Conor hasn't outed him yet and Chandler hasn't been given any information. It's a very tough mystery to solve. Michael Chandler and Conor McGregor, as of right now, claim that they're fighting this summer. Now, before you go to Ticketmaster, before you log in online, I'm just going to let you know now, when you get to that agent or you get to that checkout counter and you type in the show you want to go to and you call it sometime this summer, no tickets are going to come up. Don't think you need to restart the computer. Don't think you need to ask that clerk to talk to his manager. And if you do that, the manager comes out and you tell him again you'd like to get 2 tickets. And he asks you when, and you say to that fight that's going down this summer, you're not going to get any closer. And when you call those hotels to see if they got availability, when you call your favorite restaurant because you're meeting your friends out there and you want to make sure you have a time to sit, and you say about that time that Conor and Chandler are going to fight, they flip the calendar open and they start looking for it. They're not going to find those dates. And at what point do you stop to care? Because the only thing that fight has is that you care. I didn't say to you at what point does that fight not matter. That fight has never mattered. The status of MMA, the state of MMA, within each and every weight class, 55, 70, 85, or a catch weight that they make up, has never been in peril, has never been affected. Nobody is waiting and standing by for the result of. Fight has never mattered. But we do care for a little while. And it looks like we're running out of time. According to the dirt sheets I go to, 3rd down from the top. 3rd down from the top. Not much further you can go. They're going to do the fight. They got to make the fight. No more talking about talking. No more meeting about meeting. If you want to fight, do the fight.